Gary Payton II, GP2, enters the game, and he electrified the crowd and the team with his hustle and great finishes. But maybe more important than that was a team defense, which contained the giant Jonas Valančiūnas, JV, who had been torturing the Warriors all game, and good team defense and shifting schemes helped to contain JV, and that let the Warriors get some separation that they would never relinquish. So here's the end of one play where JV just uses his size to get the offensive rebound. They're forced to miss, but he gets the tip in. And so it's actually an 8-point game. This is a play where Jordan Poole attacks early in the clock, and for some reason, the Pelicans decide to match up JV with Gary Payton II. I guess their thinking is that GP2 is not a great outside shooter, so Valančiūnas can just play off him in super drop position to contain drives without GP2 punishing him. But GP2 draws from the Draymond playbook. In this odd play, Poole slips and falls to the ground. It's sort of awkward, and that's still not enough to get either one of these Pelicans to come out and guard GP2. So Poole gets the ball back, and this is the most basic play ever. JV is in drop position, which means GP2 can screen and Poole can just step in to a 3-point shot. Thank you very much. We'll take those 3. The Pelicans respond by posting up JV on Bjelica. Bjelica is the closest thing the Warriors have. He's the same height, 6'10", as JV, but JV is listed at 265 pounds and Bjelica is listed at 235 pounds. So we're talking about giving up 30 pounds of muscle here. So Bjelica definitely banged with him, but he cannot stop him one-on-one. So the Warriors resort to a number of different schemes to try to throw off JV. So in this play, they go to a late double. They let JV survey and start backing down. And at some point, Draymond is just going to spring the surprise double team on JV. This means that Gary Payton has to zone these 2 defenders, his defender and also the man that Draymond had been defending. Okay, here comes the double, surprise double, 10 on the shot clock. They're going to try to make JV panic and not find the open man. Unfortunately, GP2 turns his back on these 2 men, so this man is going to take this opportunity just to cut, and JV will find him. And he's completely open for a 3 here. GP2 tries to get back into the play. There's the pump fake, and now he's passed. Open 3. The Warriors get lucky. They counterattack right away. GP2 just bolts down the right lane. Draymond sees all, so he immediately hits GP2 with the hit ahead. And now there's only one man to beat. It's a foot race. Can Josh Hart cut off GP2 before he gets to the basket? And he does beat him there, but GP2 does this very slick double clutch in the air to send Hart going by. He gets the foul and the sweet finger roll finish. This is a pick and roll. It looks like the Pelicans want to go this way. The Warriors play this in ice defense, which means Andrew Wiggins here is positioning himself to deny use of the screen. He wants to overplay the screen side to force the ball to go away from the screen, and Bjelica is in drop position, so that's the ice defense of pick and roll. And they get what they wanted. Be careful what you wish for. The speed bug Kyrah Lewis Jr. zips by, and now he's attacking Bjelica. If he wants it, he can have a little pocket pass to Valančiūnas, who then will have a chance to finish over the much shorter GP2. But Lewis Jr. does not want it, and he tries this pretty tough bank shot. I like the boxing out here. You see GP2 hustled and got in to box out JV. Bjelica's boxing out JV. I think between the 2 of them, GP2 and Bjelica do outweigh JV, so this is a fair matchup. Good rebound by Bjelica. In a triple split, one man dives to the basket, one man gets a down screen. This is when the ball's up top. So Jordan Poole is going to trigger this action. You'll see him signal with his arm for GP2 to cut through, and then that will trigger him popping out and getting the down screen. There goes GP2. Here's the down screen. The defender fights through pretty well, and number 8, in fact, does not jump out. The Warriors certainly were hoping he would jump out and overplay, but he just stays with his man. But unfortunately, the defender, you can't quite tell from this video, but he's not looking at the ball, which means that even though Wiggins is not going to outrace him with speed, Draymond is able to bounce pass it right behind his feet. Really sublime pass from Draymond. Wiggins catches it right behind him, and the dunk. The Warriors keep changing around their defensive scheme to try to keep the Pelicans off balance. For this possession, they go to a switching scheme. Here's a screen that gets Wiggins off of Alexander Walker. So the Warriors observe to see what's happening. It looks like it's going to be a curl and a handoff from JV. So there's the handoff. We have this man going around to the open lane. Bjelica has to switch to him, but he's guarding JV. So JV cuts to the basket. He should be free as a bird, right? No. Draymond is going to switch to him, and that means that technically Wiggins should switch out to Josh Hart. Will be open, but no one's perfect. It's a little bit awkward. GP2 is digging in from top of the arc. Bjelica has switched. Wiggins probably is following a little too much, but maybe this is part of their idea that let's blitz the ball handler. This does leave this shooter open on the arc. Number 6 just keeps on bullying through, and he throws up a kind of prayer of a shot, well contested by Bjelica. And just as important, on the backside, Draymond is boxing out the much larger JV. JV whumps him with his body, but Bjelica saves it, and suspiciously looked like his foot was out of bounds, but we don't quibble about these things. The ball comes back in, so the Pelicans have the bigger JV who can bully the Warriors, but that means the Warriors can counterattack with speed. The ball goes straight to Draymond, and now he's going to try to get into a foot race with JV. I don't know if you can tell, but Draymond is winning this foot race. He's just outrunning JV. These two defenders pinch in. So impressively, Draymond has drawn 3 men to him, which leaves Wiggins open in the corner, but also GP2 trailing. And Draymond likes his chances with GP2. I don't really know why the Pelicans defense parted like the Red Sea here, but he just found a seam, and he has no regard for human life on this. Bam. Here's the play from another angle. Draymond somehow draws 3. GP2 is making the 45-degree cut here. I think basically Lewis Jr. made a business decision to not try to go up and contest this. Yeah, he actually kind of gets out of the way, takes a quick swipe, and then says, "Have a good flight." This is an interesting play. I kind of wish they were mic'd up for this. Draymond first walks down here, and he signals to GP2, "Hey, come over here." And I'm guessing he wants to do something like the Horns play, where one person comes out, gets a down screen, and gets the ball off on the side. But as Draymond is trying to get GP2 to come up, I don't know if he overhears the Pelicans or just notices the formation, but he sees the Pelicans are playing this 2-3 zone, and it's like Draymond says, "Okay, scratch that." So he says, "Come on over here, GP2." And then he turns, and he completely turns his back on GP2, and GP2 looks at that and reads that, and then he steps back. I don't know if Draymond actually says, "Get back," or "Wait a second." And instead, I believe what Draymond is thinking is, hey, if you're going to play a 2-3 zone, then there should be a soft spot right here in the middle and right here at the top. So I'm just going to walk over to the soft spot here and ask for the ball. He's going to signal to Poole, "Pass me the ball" in the soft spot. Here you see he's got his hands up like, "All right, I'm ready, throw me the ball." So Poole passes him the ball, and that's going to make both these defenders collapse on Draymond. And as the ball comes to him, he sees, okay, they fell into my trap. These two both came to me because it's not clear who should be covering me, and that means the soft spot at the top of the key is completely open, so I'm just going to bullet the ball right back to Poole. And he's very open. That was just a great audible by Draymond. The next trip down, the Warriors play this very interesting defense. I believe it's a 1-2-2 zone with a very special rule for Valančiūnas when he goes to the post. And that rule is that both the low men sandwich him. and get as close as possible to him. So they played it earlier in the game, and it worked pretty well, so they bring it back as part of the mix, the potpourri of defenses they're throwing at him. So that's a pretty close description to what's going on. I'm not positive that's the actual scheme. So here's 1, 2, 2 with GP2 at the top of the zone. What makes me think it's a zone is that this cutter passes through, trying to get in the way for Satoransky, and GP2 is just going to stay in this area and just hand off this man to Wiggins. So that's looks very zony. And now Satoransky comes around and gets the screen. He's going to be handed off cleanly to Bjelica, and GP2 will switch over to whoever's on top, haha, which happens to be the gigantic JV. And Satoransky notices that's what's going on. So he says, oh, isn't that funny that JV, you're now matched up with this pipsqueak? See him signaling, hey, go into the post. You've got the mouse in the house, so you should go and just post him up and dunk him into the basket. GP2 realizes that he is in danger, and he's going to first do a rhino defense where he's just going to get in the way of JV and not let him move to the middle of the lane. Wrestle, wrestle, push. Of course, finally physics takes over and JV gets through. JV is going to try to power through and post up. Bjelica is blocking the pass, so Satoransky passes to the corner to get a better angle to feed JV. But GP2 just stays in JV's body to prevent the direct pass, so he's fronting JV. Now you might say, okay, just throw it over the top of the mouse, and that's where the sandwich part of the defense comes in. Poole here is supposed to be guarding this corner man, but because this is such an emergency, in this small ball defense, he's going to come up and hug the backside of Valančiūnas so that there can't be a lob feed to him. The part is having a heck of a time getting the ball to JV where he can take advantage. He dribbles out over here to try to get a better angle, but this damn mosquito, GP2, is continuing to stay in the way. I think JV is trying to just pull him out of the way and just throw him to the side like an annoying cat or something. So this is very tricky to get the pass in because he has shoved GP2 to the side, but Poole is pinched in so far, this is the other side of the JV sandwich, that if Hart does try to bounce a pass in there, Poole can step in and intercept this. So it's very tricky. On top of that, Draymond is on front over here ready to grab things. Bjelica is ready to stick his hand in. There's just this whole thicket of warriors ready to grab any kind of entry pass to the post. JV here is holding the pesky feral cat off, and he's got his hand up saying, all right, throw it up, this is it. The other annoying stray cat is moved off to the side. Throw it up, man. Got his finger up. I can grab this. Which of course makes the annoying other stray cat come back to do the sandwich, so he's completely sandwiched in by these two. The Pelicans really don't know how to handle this weird formation. It's possible that this player should have just stayed in the corner and then there could have been a skip pass for an open three, but instead he's lifting up. I think he's trying to make himself open. These three men are being guarded by two, so there's no advantage. JV has had his hand up for a post entry for about 6 minutes in a row now. I think he's losing circulation. That's probably why he has this compression thing. And I kind of feel for the guy. He's there saying, I've been posting up a guy half my size for the last 10 minutes, and you bozos can't get me an entry pass. You can see the exact moment he gives up all hope in humanity. There he throws this, it's like, forget it. I cannot believe this. Just to show you that basketball isn't always fair, after this tremendous defense, Josh Hart has the lousiest shot you can imagine out of an offense. This off balance, fading away out of bounds, shot clock beating, awkward too. Nothing but net. Okay, so that was just a small slice of the game, but it was a big slice because when we started this, it was an 8-point game and Pelicans were very much in it, but with aggressive counterattacking offense and good reading and reacting, plus really good small ball defense, which kept on changing scheme to confuse the Pelicans, it managed to balloon the lead up to 17, and they never really lost the big lead. I think this is good practice because the Warriors are going to face in the future some really good big men, and it's good to have a big toolbox of interesting and weird defenses that you can throw at them to try to overcome the size advantage. Here's a great view of the play. Wiggins with the down screen, pool cutting. The defender has his head turned watching the action, so Draymond can thread this pass right next to the defender's feet. Here it comes. Oh, that is so beautiful. Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, Draymond is flashing his own goggles, which I think is a no-no. You've got to have other people pointing out the goggles for you. But in his defense, I think there were teammates goggling him over here. Whenever someone on the Warriors has great vision on a pass like that, you throw out the little binocular goggles. See, Looney's got the goggles. Juan Toscano's got the goggles. I think Otto Porter, he's new. They haven't assigned him his official team goggles yet. Clay's got his goggles. He hasn't forgotten where they are from 2 years ago. So Draymond is he's just responding in kind. He's just being polite.